Well, here we are again in the basement. The basement tapes continue. There's an interesting issue kicking around right now that is getting a lot of attention, and it's going to get actually more. And it's starting in Quebec, where schools are set to start reopening in some parts of the province as early as Monday. Montreal, which has been more the epicenter of the outbreak in Quebec and where they still have real problems, Montreal is going to be slower. But in a lot of Quebec, kids are going to be heading back to school soon. Not all kids. It's going to be elementary school age only, and there's going to be a lot of restrictions. I want to read just for a second from you here, right off my phone, some of what these restrictions are. And this is an example that someone had posted online from just one particular school. This actually makes a lot of sense. Some of them, they're going to change the entrance and exit protocols so that the kids are kind of dispersed and spread out and no one's in one space. They're not going to shift from class to class. They're going to spend all their time in one classroom. They're going to disperse the kids so that there aren't as many in a classroom. They're going to make more of a conscious effort to have them spread out throughout the school facility. All these things are smart. All of these things reflect like a really good faith effort to try and make school a safe place, not only for the elementary school kids. We think they're safe from the virus, but there's some emerging information that maybe actually they're at more risk than we had realized before. And that's just happening right now. So we'll see what comes out of these studies into the Kawasaki syndrome. But the thing we have to remember is schools just aren't places where kids go. There's teachers, there's custodial staff, there's administrators and office personnel. There's hundreds of parents dropping their students off in the morning. So we've got to figure all these things out. And like I said, I see a good faith effort on this list to do a lot of that. But let me read this one to you here. I shouldn't laugh at this because I understand why they're doing this. There will be no physical contact. Bathroom breaks will be monitored, escorted so that proper disinfection by our caretakers can follow before the facilities are used again. Lockers will no longer be used. And there was an incredibly grim one. I shouldn't laugh at this. At recess, instead of playing, they're going to walk in prearranged patterns. They're going to be doing like infantry close order drills. They're going to be marching. If this is what school is going to look like, we need to ask ourselves what we're really opening the schools for. It's like basic training without actually getting into the army at the end of it. It's like being in prison, except eventually you don't get paroled. We're sending the kids back, and this is fine, but we're sending the kids back because the parents can't get back to work until the kids are back at school. Let's be honest about what we're talking about here. We're talking about using the schools as daycares, which is why, again, in this Quebec information, they're not going to be taking grades. This is daycare by another name, and maybe we have to do that to get the economy rolling again. But if these are the rules, and believe me, I'm a guy with two young kids at home right now. It's a miracle to me they haven't interrupted this video already. But if this is going to be what the resumption of school looks like, don't be surprised if a lot of parents just decide to take a pass.